WPPS TV3 Sports welcomes you to Portland High School football. We now send you up to the booth and welcome in Steve Schwartz on play-by-play and John Coyne on color commentary.
Good evening. It's Friday night, October 6, 2017, and we're here at the home of the Bangor Rams for tonight's exciting football action between the Rams and your Portland Bulldogs. This is Steve Schwartz along with John Coyne, Dave Elowich on camera for WPPS TV3 Sports. Folks, Bangor and Portland are both 0-5. It's a crucial game because the winner may very well get to the playoffs. The loser probably won't.
That's right, and Portland really has put together a lot of offensive capacity over the last couple of games. They need to click here. They need to take a look and put it in a full 4 quarters. Well,
for Bangor, look out for Nick Kanar. He's their leading rusher. He's got 244 yards on 58 carries and a touchdown. And their quarterback is Zach Milliken, and he's got a couple of touchdown passes this year on 149 yards. If Portland's going to do it, they may not have some of their key players.
That's true, and we're going to have to wait to see till the lineups start out here. And we understand last week they were a little short, but we're going to have Sam Nopin at quarterback this week, Vin Pasquale out wide, along with Zach Elowich picking up some key carries this week.
That's right, and what we're going to be looking for is to see if Teron Moss, who has a hand injury, and Griffin Foley, who has an ankle injury, Quinn Clark had an injury as well, and we're going to look to see if those players make it into the game tonight. We'll bring you all of the exciting action in a moment.
And introducing your home team, the Bangor Rams. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise as we honor America as Bangor High School band under the direction of Bangor High School student Junior Charlie Robinson instructs the band for the national anthem. Presenting the colors is Bangor High School Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, commanded by Captain Tabitha McLaughlin.
Here at the booth tonight, actually, with John Redman, the stalwart timekeeper for Bangor, and their announcer, Joe Nelson, longtime basketball coach for Bangor as well. And Quinn Clark is in the game tonight, and he's going to be kicking off. And deep for Bangor will be Alex Yakubu, number 6. Yakubu, and he's picks it up at the 10. He's out to the 15, 20, all the way out to about the 27, 29-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10, Bangor.
Nice tackle there by Nico Levitt getting down the field for that opening kickoff. Nice to see that we have Quinn Clark back out there. Quinn wasn't on the field with us last week.
Folks, there's a lot of changes here. Teron Moss, number 4, is on the field. We saw Griffin Foley out when the captains were meeting, and he is suited up tonight. Anyway, it's a handoff, and swarmed by many Bulldogs, Carlos Palma and Cam Conley.
Cam Conley's there along with Nathan Kapongo, both some quick intervention there in the middle of the line. Looks like we're going to have about 2nd and 9.
So here we go now under center. The pitch is to Yakubu, or actually number 9 is Kanar. Teron Moss with a nice tackle there, John.
Yeah, Teron's back. Word has it that he's got an injury to his hand. We'll see how he plays today. We're anticipating Sam Nope goes under center when the Dogs pick up the ball offensively. Teron had some nice pursuit there on that outside, coming to the short side of the field.
So it's going to be 3rd and 11. 1 in motion. And, almost a late. I think Vinny Pasquale threw Fane Scott out of the club there, a little late, but not called. So we had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Sullivan, his grandfather, here earlier, lives up this way in Penobscot County.
Very proud grandfather.
That is a high punt, but it doesn't travel very far. And it takes a neutral bounce. And smartly, Vinny Pasquale does not touch it. It's downed at about the 38-yard line of Bangor. So Portland starts with very good field position for their first possession.
You're correct there. This is something that Portland would really benefit from, pushing one in here early. Sam Nope is back there under center for us.
Zach Elowich grabs the ball. He's brought down by number 79. That's Addison Darcy. So here we go, folks. Vinny Pasquale with a nice run.
It's going to be a nice pickup for Vin coming around that right side.
It's a first down. It was a 9-yard pickup. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25. Moss in motion. He takes the pitch on the left side. Nice block by Pasquale. Spins and circs and jives all the way down to about the 6-yard line.
That's a nice run by Moss coming out to the left side of that line. Got some space out there. Uses athleticism to get deeper into that zone. Create a 1st and goal to go.
About a 19-yard gain. 1st and goal from the 6. Here comes Moss. Brings it down to about the 1. The ball's officially at the 2-yard line to get it over. Breaking huddle now. This could be keeper territory, and it is, and he scoots underneath the line. Touchdown, Sam Nope, 2 yards.
Yeah, that's a good call, Steve. It's a great spot for Sam to tuck it in there and take those last 2 yards. A good drive, short field for the Dogs to start off on, and quite a statement for them to make here early on with 8:14 remaining in this game.
I think you mean in this quarter.
In this quarter, yeah.
Quinn Clark up and straight through. So 7-0 Portland, as John says, with 8:14 left in the first quarter. Here we go, Quinn Clark kicking off now from the 40. Kanar and Yakubu back, but the short back. Oh, there's a fumble. Kanar picks it up, though, and he'll get up. We have a flag on the play. Or maybe, or possibly not. I can't tell. Yeah, there is a flag down. We'll see what it is.
Looks like we're going to have a face mask call. Zach Elowich had the early shot at him. He was stood up there, and then Elowich actually got in on the end of that tackle, along with Nico Levitt.
So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, let's hope that that's the end of that for Portland there. Gang tackling, try to get Kanar down to the ground. We know that Kanar is one of their top producers offensively and is a large part of their offense here. So,
well, penalty yards has been a problem for the Dogs this year. Oof, boom, what a hit. That is number 25, Cam Conley, stepping up. So 1 yard gain there. Nice play by Cam Conley. You hear his name more and more during these contests. Here's Kanar, and he is absolutely crushed and met right there by Kapongo.
Kapongo's there along with Cam, comes off the bottom of that pile again. So like you said, Steve, Cam Conley's had his name spoken as we continue the season. You hear more and more of him, so it's a good word for him to start hearing his name more.
7 minutes left in the first quarter. 3rd and 10 from the 42. Milliken with the handoff. It's a fumble, and we'll see. It may have been recovered by Bangor, by number 79, who's Addison Darcy.
Darcy's also their punter, Steve, one of the top punters in the Northern Division, trailing our own Zach Elowich as the top punter with a 38.5-yard average.
That is a booming punt. Picked up at the 30. Whoop! Here comes Pasquale outside. He's got some room. And that is a tremendous run back for Vinny Pasquale. About a 32-yard return or so.
We're kind of getting used to seeing this out of Pasquale. He had a couple of nice run backs at Chevrolet last week. Picked up a punt on the bounce. He ran one back for a touchdown. Along with Stasium, who had a nice run earlier. So their special teams are becoming a big part of what they're doing.
Well, it's 1st and 10 now from the 39. The Dogs again in good field position here to start. Handoff goes to Elowich, straight up the middle. He's met by several. Darcy is in on that, and it looks like the tackler was number 62 as well, Zeb Wilson. So 2nd and 5. Long count by Sam Nope. Pasquale set. Oh, and a little bit of a bobble there. And still on his feet, though, before he is brought down by number 16, Luke Willis.
Pasquale showing the heart that he has there, Steve, that never say die attitude that we often have seen throughout our years broadcasting the Bulldogs, and Vin's embodying that tonight. Got that little extra, probably an extra yard and a half out of that after he was stopped at the line.
3rd and 3 now from the 32. And Tehran gets the first down and way more as he is brought down at about the 1 foot line. Oh, they have a touchdown. Here you go.
32-yard touchdown, Steve. He got up through it again like he did the last time that he had the ball. He got through that line, and his athleticism carried him through.
And Griffin Foley holding for Quinn Clark now. We'll try to make it 14. 4:42 left in the first quarter. Here at the home of the Bangor Rams. That's good. It's 14-0. We are actually behind, not at the high school, but behind the William S. Cohen Elementary School. It's a wonderful field here. Great booth, of course, great accommodations, for which we thank Steve Vanetta-Stein, the athletic director, and Joe Nelson here tonight. We'll be back. Quinn Clark now set to kick off with 4:42 left in the first quarter. 14-0 Dogs. The deep back picks it up on the bounce. Akabu in a great open field, one-arm tackle by Vinny Pasquale has the Rams deep in their territory to start.
Nice tackle by Vin Pasquale there in the open field.
Yeah, the pitch to Yakubu, and he's brought down by 57 and 55. This is Koa Farnsworth and, of course, Tumba, a name that we haven't heard much of. He's a sophomore. But it'll be 2nd and 9, and this is the way that the Rams have started with each offensive series, gaining 1 yard. And, well, we have a flag in the backfield as Dan Riker was in motion. And we'll see what the call is. Looks like it's going to take a no flag. Flag is waved off. It'll now be 3rd and 9 as the pass was incomplete to Riker. Ball's on the 24-yard line. It's been obviously a frustrating year for the Rams and, of course, for the Bulldogs as well. Two of the powerhouses in years past in Maine football. We have a timeout Bangor as Yakubu wants to talk a few things over, and he'll come out with 3:51 left in the first quarter. The score, Portland Bulldogs 14, Bangor Rams nothing. So right now it's going to be 3rd and 9. We have a flag. 2 flags as number 23 is Fane Scott. It's going to be a call against Bangor. We have illegal procedure waved off, and it'll be 4th down, so Bangor will punt. It's a beautiful evening here tonight, about 60 degrees here in Bangor. Just a lovely evening. It was about 65 today, maybe got up to 70 a little earlier here on October 6th. The ball is on the bounce. It's picked up by Moss. Moss is at the 40, 45 at midfield. He cuts down and...
oh, boy.
Folks, he's going to go the other way now, and he's got some daylight, and he's fast. He's got blockers. And he is going to score a touchdown for Teron Moss. A 65-yard touchdown. John, what a game for the Dogs.
Absolutely, Steve. Teron, again, we've said it a couple of times, showing his athleticism, comes all the way from one side, just sees a gap. You're seeing his maturity on the field today. Being able to see the lane, see the gaps, and make that move, something we didn't see a little bit earlier, but knowing how smart he is, it's coming his way now and really making an adjustment here on the football field.
So Quinn Clark now try to get his 3rd point after. He's been obviously quiet this year because the Dogs haven't scored a lot. But this time he converts. So with 3:21 left in the first quarter, the score, Dogs 21, Rams nothing. So Quinn Clark now to kick really from the other hash mark on the right side. Nice easy kick down. It's mishandled but picked up around the 5. And now a little bit of space here. A nice return. Yakubu out to the 22. So that may be about a 12-yard return. 3:14 left in the first quarter, 21-0 Dogs. Here you go, folks. And Vinny Pasquale is well positioned, but he was out of bounds, they're going to say. So it'll be ruled an incomplete pass rather than an interception. We have a Bangor Ram down, however, and it's number 79, their stalwart lineman, Addison Darcy. So with 3:07 left, we'll take a timeout. Okay, folks, as the injured lineman, Darcy, gets tended to, we have a thrown for a loss. A great defensive effort by Zach Elowich.
Well, Portland's had a great job here defensively. At this point, with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter, holding Bangor to negative yardage at this point. Strong on second and third downs. They've forced 3 and outs already.
So we finally see Riker catch a pass, but it's just a couple of yards. Nice coverage by Zach Elowich. So it's going to be 4th and 7, and there'll be another punt. As Pasquale and Moss are back deep, and it's just a little pop-up, but Moss is picking it up, and he's going to start running. And here he goes again. This time, though, he's not going to escape the grasp of Lucas Burt. It's a 16-yard return.
He's already got 81 yards of return on punt returns today, Steve. That's just, it's great. Great for him. Great to have him back in the lineup. And we see Nope getting a little bit more comfortable in that spot as their quarterback as the season moves on. We've got a home contest next week on Friday the 13th where the Lewiston Blue Devils will join us, and then we'll be at South Portland for the Battle of the Bridge on the 20th after that, or the 21st.
And the Dogs will start in Bangor territory, which is where they've started all game. And, Zach Elowich fighting hard, but he runs into number 62, Zeb Wilson. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now from the 41. Excuse me. There's a pitch to the left side. Moss is brought down by
So we've got just under 30 seconds left. They'll get this one last play off, Steve, and then we'll swap sides for the second quarter.
And here we go. 3rd and 9 from the 35. Nope, back to throw. And he's got Moss. Oh, what a beautiful throw. We have a flag in the backfield. Otherwise, it's a touchdown. It's going to go against the Dogs, though, and be called back. I think. I don't know, the referees are conferencing. At first they were talking, thought they were finding out if Coach Hartman wanted to accept the penalty, but we'll see. There's 2 flags down. No flag. Touchdown to Ron Moss. 35-yard touchdown.
Oh, with 2 seconds left. That was a nice play there. Sam Nope airs it out to the former quarterback, Teron Moss. I'm not sure exactly what the officials are seeing. That's the second one that they've waved off today, but it's nice that they're able to conference and get the call right, do what's right for the game. Got a late entry in there. We got our 11th player coming in. Hopefully they don't, it doesn't expire. And they've got too many men on the field right now. That back judge counted up and threw the flag as the kick was getting up there.
Well, as you suggest, some sort of a procedure penalty there. So they'll back up Clark. So Clark will get ready to tee it up again.
Yeah, 25-yard extra point, not your typical extra point.
And it's good, nevertheless. Goodness, it's 28-0. Still 2 seconds left in the first quarter. A beautiful harvest moon here tonight in Bangor. Just a lovely evening tonight. 28-0. So Quinn Clark now set to kick off. This will be the last play here of the first quarter as Yakubu picks it up and is brought down again within his own territory. The last tackler was Zach Elowich, but we also had number 51, who I don't know who that is on our roster.
Yep, missed.
28-0. We're going to start the second quarter in a moment.
So
here we go now, folks. As Bangor starts deep in its own territory, and once again, you know, John, the Portland defense is just firing on all cylinders this evening.
Yeah, they sure are, Steve. It's nice to see for these boys. 28 points in the first quarter is quite an accomplishment for them. They've had a nice mix here between special teams, passing game, the running game, things that we've been accustomed to over the last 2 seasons, where our last game has been state championship games along with our Thanksgiving Day game.
Another, excuse me, nice defensive effort. Cam Conley, first in. So just a minute in here into the second quarter. It's going to be 3rd and 5. The ball is on the 30. And it's going to be aired out and a little too far out of the outstretched reach of Dan Riker. The flag is down, but
yeah, Silo Magno had great coverage there. If he turns his head around, he's going to see that ball.
It's going to be a penalty against the Dogs. You know, again, penalty's an issue for the Dogs this year, but only the second one tonight. None for Bangor.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. There with Portland, they had been bitten by the bug earlier on this season. They've cleaned that up. Just two penalties here. We got a first down and 10. This is Bangor's longest drive at this point in the game.
And they'll try to get over the half, onto their own the Portland half of the field before for the first time tonight as well, but nothing doing that time. Kapongo with the stop there. And again, as every defensive start has happened, there's either been for 1 yard or no gain or a loss. So they're really losing that all-important opportunity there at first down. It's now 2nd and 10. And Milliken is back to throw, but a little too far over his intended receiver, Nick Kanar. So it's now going to be 3rd and 10 from the 45.
So if Portland can come up with a stop here, we're going to see great starting field position again on Bangor's punt.
You can see there number 88, Nico Levitt, on the end of the line. 3rd and 10 from the 45. And again, Milliken back to throw. This time he's got Riker, but it's going to be short of a first down. He's going to be brought down by Vinny Pasquale. So we'll see what happens here. The ball's at midfield, and you would expect that there'll be a punt here, 4th and 5, as Pasquale will be deep with Teron Moss. And the punter is Zach Milliken, the quarterback. And the ball's going to come to Moss, who's going to pick it up. And here he goes.
So we'll see what Portland can do here. This is the deepest they've started in their own side of the field with 9:15 remaining in the first half. We'll let Portland's offense set up, and we'll be back.
That was a nice 14-yard return for Moss. 1st and 10 from their own 36. Portland Bulldogs. A nice, even game tonight here. Teron Moss to the left side. He cuts, he goes outside now. He's past midfield. He's brought down out of bounds by Luke Toole. So it'll be 1st and 10 Bulldogs from the 50. This has got to be a confidence builder for the Bulldogs here tonight. You've got this young quarterback, Sam Nope. He's poised. And that was a 14-yard run, by the way, folks. But it's now 1st and 10 from the 50. Oh, there's a fumble. The ball is loose, and falling on it is number 48, Caleb Sebastiano. So there's a rare miscue for the Bulldogs tonight. It'll be Bangor's ball, 1st and 10 from about the 47-yard line. We'll be back in a moment. So it's 1st and 10, actually the ball on the 48 now. Milliken under center. Looks to throw to Riker, and Riker is wrapped up, and pass is broken up. Boy, can you imagine a sandwich made of Silo Magno and Zach Elowich?
Yeah. Portland enjoys that coverage there. It's nice to see those two young men having a good game.
2nd and 10 from the 48. Two line up wide left. Straight up the middle. And there comes Zach Elowich with the tackle. It's about a 4-yard gain. So it'll be 3rd and 6 from the 44.
It's always nice being able to be up close. We're so used to having Peter Gribben just one box away, but sitting here in the middle with the announcing team, with the stadium team, we really get the stats right off the bat.
All right. The clock is perfectly run up here, I might add. So there you go. Straight up the middle is number 6, Yakubu. And very close.
Elowich and Magno on the ground there, as well as Cam Conley.
So it's going to be 4th and 1. So 1 yard shy now, and look for possibly Milliken to keep it. And no, he's going to be, oh my goodness. Yakubu doesn't look like he got it.
Oh, they're signaling 1st down for Portland High School. Nice job inside there. Charlie Eglin, Zach Elowich stuffing that on Yakubu.
Boy, what a great defense here tonight for the Bulldogs. 8:01 left in the first half, and the score is 28-0, Bulldogs in front. So, John, the ball is on the 39-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Moss gets the handoff, spins, comes out. There's a flag at the end of the play. We have a holding, though, on Portland.
Look at a 28-0 lead here. They want to make sure that they start to work on these types of things that don't derail them when they. We've got 2 games remaining. Again, we talked about Lewiston coming to Fitzpatrick next Friday night. And we're across the bridge battling South Portland. These are the kind of discipline things that drive coaches crazy. You got a nice run like that. Tehran gets out there, and it's negated because of a hole.
So 1st and 18. Pasquale takes the handoff. And, folks, he's off to the races. He's got one to beat.
Oh, nice move by Vin.
Yeah, that is a heads-up play, and folks, that is a touchdown. 69-yard run for Vinny Pasquale.
Mr. Sullivan must be a happy grandfather making this trip up here to see his grandson play after that, to see that heads-up move, knowing there was a pretty good pursuit, but he cut back across the field. So 69 yards in your scorebook, but he ran about 100 to get there.
Indeed. Quinn Clark now comes out. I think the only time we've really seen Griffin Foley out on the field is to hold. What's kind of good to see is that we're not seeing him limp like he was in weeks past, but I don't think he's ready to play yet either. Quinn Clark up and through the uprights, and that is going to make it 35-0 Portland Bulldogs.
Quinn Clark's there, ready to kick off from the 40. He puts it into play. Deep for Bangor's Alex Yakubu.
Yeah, and it's he touches it, goes out of bounds. It's right around the 15-yard line. Well, nothing doing, folks. As a great defensive play, it looks like Zach Elowich and Kapongo and company.
So we've got a little bit of a loss there. We're going back to about the 10-yard line, so it'll be about a 4-yard loss.
It'll be 2nd and 14 from the 10. Pitch is to, it's hard to tell. It's 6 or 9, I can tell you that. It looks like it's number 9 is Kanar.
Well, it was one of the 22 kids that was in that big gaggle right there, Steve. I can guarantee you the ball was in the middle.
Kapongo credit for the tackle there. I'd say it's been about a year since the Dogs have had a game like this, John.
Yeah, you're right. Last game last year against Bonnie Eagle in the state finals, they did a great job with that, but it looks like we've got a timeout here. So with 6:06 remaining, Dogs up 35-0. We'll be back.
John, it's going to be 3rd and 7 from the 17. Milliken set. There's a fumble.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he's brought back Zach Elowich's first down there, and it's going to be a huge sack loss there. Zach Elowich, I think, will get credit for that, along with Kapongo. So
let's see what we got here, Steve. We're going to have a short field. The punters got the goalpost right at his back. We got to get that. They've got to get that out of there quick. We've had Moss and Pasquale really have decent returns with that high kick, though. I'm guessing we're not going to see too much of that.
Right, and it's going to be downed at about the 20, maybe the 23-yard line, as Portland's going to take over here with 5:23 left in the first half. 35-0 is the score. The Dogs in command. So as John pointed out during the break, the Dogs could have just caught a break there, as it's possible that football hit the player's foot. Here's Moss, ducks down, and he's taken down by number 48, Caleb Sebastiano.
Yeah, that punt, if you rewind it there at home, it kind of looked like it may have taken a bounce, but I'm guessing that because the officials are right there with a much better look than we have, that there wasn't any contact. But it would be something, if they were at a higher level, you might ask for a replay on, or if we had a scoreboard. But it went the Dogs' way right there. So, again, Steve, we've got a short field here for the Dogs with just under 5 minutes left here in the second quarter.
It is 2nd and 9 from the 22. Pasquale in motion, and Zach Elowich gets the handoff, and he bulls down for a nice gain. Yakubu tackles him. Yakubu, name figuring prominently for the Rams. It's an 11-yard carry for Zach Elowich, and it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line. Elowich again, and he just keeps bullying his way down. It's going to take 5 Rams to take him down. I think number 39, Lucas Burt, was in there. A 9-yard carry, so 20 yards in the span of a few seconds here, gains for Zach Elowich. And, of course, you know, that bodes well for the future of the Bulldogs, John.
I'm rooting right here for Zach Elowich to get this ball after 20 yards and 2 carries.
Pasquale in motion, and he's got it again. And this time he goes through right up the middle, a 5-yard touchdown, Zachary Elowich. So towards the end of that drive, it was 25 yards by Zach Elowich on 3 carries, ending it with a touchdown.
Nice work, and great call by the coaching staff after Zach getting in there and taking the load on his shoulders and able to take one to the house. I think that's his 4th touchdown this season.
Quinn Clark now makes it 6 in a row tonight. The score is 42-0. 3.5 minutes left in the first half here in beautiful Bangor, Maine. So Quinn Clark is set to kick it off now. In the deep back is number 6. Here, watch out, folks, as Yakubu brings it out all the way up to midfield and beyond.
Never say never in this game, Steve. It's not over till the last tick of that clock, and Yakubu brings it out to the 50.
First and 10 from the 49 with 3:21 left in the first half here. Bangor has their best field position of the evening on their own 49. But just like that, thrown down, this time by number 65, Jonah Green.
So again, first down, well, they're going to give him 2nd and 11 on that. It looked like, I thought, a gain, but not so by the official scorekeeper here, or by the placement of the ball when he went down.
So 2nd and 11 from the midfield. Two in motion. And the pitch will come out to Yakubu. But again, a great stop. Yakubu was stopped by Zach Elowich, I think, first. Elowich is having a game of it tonight, John.
So what you watch there, Steve, is great work on this end. Ben Stasium comes up and cuts that in along with Nico Levitt. They hold that corner. They make that run go inside. And with Elowich's position as the linebacker, he's got a great shot at that. So by them coming up, they're not getting a stat, but they do turn that run into a short run, and their teammates able to pick up that good tackle.
And that's what you call teamwork. 3rd and 10 from the 49 as they get it back just to the original line of scrimmage. Hamilton has Stasium in pursuit.
Oh, no, Nico Levitt.
Nico Levitt. Interception. He's going to run it in, folks, for a touchdown.
Now, how's that for a statistic, Steve? We just talked about that a moment ago where they made that nice turn. They bring that ball up. Elowich has an amazing tackle, and Ben Stasium's chasing down the quarterback, Zach Milliken, and Nico Levitt intercepts that ball, a one-handed interception.
That's a 51-yard interception return for Nico Levitt, the 6'2", 170-pound lineman, junior.
This is always interesting to me as you see kind of this specialty stuff that, each side has their own ball. And it was that long ago that I played, and I don't remember balls coming in from each sideline. You played with whatever was out there.
Can he make it 7? He does. Kicks it through with authority. It is 49-0, folks. We will be back. We have 1:41 left in the first half. So on the strength of an interception by Nico Levitt, tremendous pressure by Ben Stasium there, John.
We talked about it a little bit before the play before that. He was able to collapse the end and stop the penetration of any running back, turning him back inside for Zach Elowich. But Ben really had nice, strong pursuit. A tough throw for Zach Milliken to make, and there you go. And Nico Levitt's there, the one-handed OBJ kind of grab.
So OBJ?
Huh?
OBJ kind of grab?
Beckham Jr.
Oh, my goodness.
New York Giants, but I know that might be a bad thing to talk about on this network. But
I'm just a little bit out of touch. I don't know what's trending.
Odell Beckham Jr.
All right, I just don't know what's trending. There's a penalty there, of course, because the kickoff went out of bounds. It's 1st and 10 from the 35. And once again, running into a wall of Bulldogs. And Kapongo, number 1 on that stop. And Jonah Green in on that as well. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. From the 35. 1 minute left here, folks, in the half. 1 minute. And just, nothing doing. They're not fooled. That time, it's like Charlie Eglund gets credit for that stop. Big Charlie Eglund. He's 6'4", listed at 279, the largest lineman for the Dogs, I believe.
Yeah, Charlie really came into this season with some high expectations of himself. He's really put himself out there this year. You've watched him steadily grow into that role. You can see him get kind of animated during the season, during games when the things haven't been going their way. And that's just, I think, everything he puts on his shoulders and then some of the ownership he puts in that offensive and defensive line position that he occupies.
So Kapongo and Elowich in on that stop. It's 4th and 9, and that will be the end of the first half, folks. What a half. 49-0 Bulldogs. So as the Rams honor their youth football players and 32 cheerleaders here at halftime, what a game for the Dogs tonight, John. 49-0 right now. They've got 7 touchdowns. Teron Moss, 201 all-purpose yards. He's got about 71 rushing, 35 receiving, 3 touchdowns. Vinny Pasquale, 80 yards, 1 touchdown. And Sam Nope has 1 pass for a touchdown, and he's rushed for a 2-yard touchdown. And really just, and Zach Elowich has a rushing touchdown, 32 yards. Nico Levitt with that great interception touchdown. They're really just firing on all fours tonight.
And you captured that correctly. Everything's gone right for the Dogs today. Defensively, offensively, it's really been something that we've looked forward to. We know they've had it. They've fine-tuned their things over the week. We made the trip up to Bangor, and it's working for them, and it's great to see.
Folks, we'll bring you second half action in a moment. Right now, it's the Bulldogs 49 and the Bangor Rams nothing. Okay, folks, we're here with second half action now. As the kick is up, and Pasquale takes it at the 20. Cuts the other way like he's done before. This time he's brought down, but not until he gets about a 23-yard return.
Vin's, over the last, I think in his sophomore year, he started doing a little bit of this return stuff. Last year, he really turned it on. This year, he's showcased himself Excellent return, man. So with a 49-0 lead heading into this second half, we'll see we're under running time. The only time that the clock, there's only 4 different reasons the clock will stop during this half.
Well, here's Moss now, and a nice tackle after a few-yard gain by, could have been Luke Willis, not sure.
So this is you take a look at this, Steve, and with a 49-point lead, folks are going to say, when does Coach Hartman put that next level in to the game? But this is really their first time of having 2 consecutive quarters of excellently executed football. So you got to kind of take that, too, as you're trying to grow this program.
That's right, with only a couple of penalties, and you've got Vinny Pasquale now coming out. Ultimately, he's wrapped up by Nick Cannar. And they're just a few yards away here, as it's going to be 3rd and 3. The ball on about the 47-yard line. Excuse me, needs to get to the 47. It's actually, the ball is at the 50. The pitch is to the right side. Pasquale's got the first down. He's going to keep going. About another 9 yards as a flag.
So this is a newer rule over the last couple of years where there's a difference of 35 points or more that in high school football in Maine the clock will run.
Right, and I guess once in a while the placement of where the ball is sometimes what's being thrown, and I'm not really sure what I saw out there, but there was no flag, I can tell you that. So it's 1st and 10 now. The ball's on the 41. The Dogs are once again on the march. Pasquale in motion. Well, set back here. He's got his blocking back is Elowich. And Elowich does what Elowich does. He springs the runner. Whoa. Brought down by number 16, Luke Willis, by the shirt.
Just able to get a hold of him. That stops a pretty decent run.
It's about a 17-yard run. Really a great block by Zach Elowich that sprang him, too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So it's 1st and 10 now from the 23.
Now this is, wow.
Zach Elowich breaks away from the pack. He goes in the corner and he scores his 2nd touchdown of the game. 23-yard touchdown, Zach Elowich.
That's just heart and hustle right there by Elowich. He keeps his legs moving on that play and bounces to the outside. He looked pretty wrapped up in the middle of that pack, Steve, but that never say die bulldog kind of football got it done there. We'll see Quinn Clark come in for his 8th extra point of the night. Doubling his total of the entire season. He had 4 extra points moving into tonight's game.
And once again, it's good. And again, the point is very well taken, John. You could see the score, of course, 56-0. And yes, you can say, when do the subs come in and that sort of thing. But my goodness, the Dogs have not put together this type of consistent, decent play with very few penalties and great defense, great offense, great special teams work all year. And something is clicking. And, you hate to see it end, if you will. But by the same token, at some point, we may very well expect to see that.
Yes.
It isn't as though they have a ton of depth to begin with.
No. And that you may see a a couple of second stringers coming in, and we've seen that historically with Coach Hartman, where he sets them up for some success and brings them in with the varsity, the starters, and kind of throws 2 or 3 in there just so they're in there in a situation that'll lend itself to future success.
Right. I mean, Coach Hartman has played with, in some respects, with one hand tied behind his back most of the year here, and coached in terms of who's been injured and such, and that's a nice takedown by number 51 of the Dogs.
So we've got an interesting strategy here in the press box. Occasionally we'll come up with a name, and our colleagues here are calling out the name just for recognition. We don't have 51 listed on our roster.
So I'm pretty sure it's not Joe Russo, but that is terrific.
But we will we'll update that. But that's interesting.
I'll have to talk to Joe about that and see. Maybe he was out there tonight suited up.
So we'll have to have a list as we move forward, Steve, of different names that we can pick out of favorite athletes of yesteryear.
Well, if Joe Nelson can do it, so can we. Joe Russo, a great athlete at Portland High School, actually went to University of Maine, Presque Isle after that, is in their Basketball Hall of Fame. To go along with his multiple state championships coaching. And here we are. A nice defense there by the Dogs. Silo Magno was down there. Zach Elowich was down there.
But we do, we're seeing coming off the field right now, Cam Conley. He's holding his right arm kind of gingerly. But we have seen the start of some of these second-string players come in. We've noticed that Josh Pike has hit the defensive secondary for the Bulldogs.
Oh, everything but the ball there as it was intended for Fayon Scott.
Also on the field for the Dogs right now is Obet Ntumba making his debut here. We talked about it earlier. Coach puts a couple in here and there to put them in a good spot. We've got 5:25 remaining here with running time.
We've got Silo Magno back deep, along with Frankie Pasquale. And the ball goes to the right side. It's picked up on one bounce by Pasquale at the 45. And here he goes. And we have a flag on the play as he is brought down by Ezra Hammer-Nagel. That is a mouthful. The head coach for Bangor is Alan Mosca. The assistants are Rob Gould, Mike Hersom, Jack Hersom, Keenan Blindo, and Pat Nade. The trainer is Tyler Jameson and also Amy Curry. The Hersom name is a well-known name in Portland and Maine football circles.
So we had a penalty here against the Dogs on that return. Holding penalty brought it back 15 yards, Steve.
Well, and that's unfortunate, but it'll be Dogs' ball, 1st and 10. They'll just start a little deeper. The penalty is one of the ways that the clock stops, of course. So our erstwhile cameraman, Dave Elowich, who has to fly out on assignment to Atlanta tomorrow, will not get home quite as early as he would have wanted. So Wakati is back now as quarterback, and he was quarterback in the first game and was injured, and then came back, I think, to some extent and played in other positions. And here he is now lining up under center. 1st and 10 from the 41. Oop, a little bit of a miscue. Yeah, and Silo Magno is brought down for a loss by number 52.
I think 52 might be Stephen King.
Well, chances are he had. I don't know that he did have anything to do with this field. He certainly had something to do with Mansfield Field. I think there's. There's a Little League field named after him. We rode by after our pregame meal and saw the radio station that he owns.
So Wakati pitches it out. He's got Stilo Magno out.
And then ultimately brought down by number 23, Fayon Scott.
So it's we're still in that running time. You're seeing now Wakati in there making his comeback. Start of the season as our quarterback here for Portland High.
Yeah, and most of the starters are out here. Wakati now, 3rd and 16 from the 39. Back to throw. Throwing against the grain here, but no, he's just going to try to, he's going to get sacked for a big loss.
So in there, I caught Darian Darling on the offensive line, Henry Mandeville, and also John Mizowitz in there for the Dogs at that point.
So it's 4th and 13. A high snap handled by Zach Elowich. A high kick, plenty of hang time. It takes a nice Portland bounce, literally of about 15 yards or so, it seems. And looks like two Portland players ran into each other. And that's Sam Nope and Christopher Vincent, both getting up a little gingerly. And the time continues to run as we tick down below 2 minutes in the third quarter. 56-0 is the score. Bangor has the ball 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Josh Pike is lining up close to us here on the left side. There's a nice tackle by Cam Conley.
It was nice to see Conley return. He maybe had a quick little stinger there, something that got worked out by Ryan Lucas on the sideline. Nice to see that Portland brings their own trainer up, and Ryan's made the trip up with the team today.
Portland coached, of course, by Jim Hartman. The assistants are Tim Marr, Mike Rutherford, also the baseball coach, of course, Mark Renner, Steve Barker. Trainer is Ryan Lucas. John Misowicz is the freshman coach who's in the booth just one section over from us here tonight. And we're going to give Zach Elowich credit for that tackle. Along with I think Elowich will get credit.
Stephen Guacchiaro has made his appearance here on the defensive line for the Dogs.
It's 3rd and 8, and again, a nice effort. We have a flag at the end of the play, but Zach Elowich with that tackle once again, and Cam Conley right with him. Zach Elowich is having a game of it tonight, folks, because he's doing it from both sides, as are many other of Portland's players as well. That's going to go against Bangor. It's a holding penalty. And that's going to make it 3rd and perhaps 18.
3rd and a bunch here.
3rd and 13. Oh. Yeah, 3rd and 16.
I think time will expire here with the running time, and we're going to swap. So as time expires, we'll see if they can get this play off for Bangor. And
they cannot. So 56-0 at the end of the third quarter. We'll bring you fourth quarter action next on WPPS TV3. So, John, it's fourth quarter action. And Kanar had the carry there. There wasn't really any gain as Elowich made another stop. Silo Magno is back deep now, along with Ben Stasium to return here. Milliken still back to punt. He fields the high snap, and it's a very, very short kick. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. And that is where the Dogs will take over. So the Dogs now have 1st and 10 on the 37. Another good field position here, but a hesitation there, and really brought back for a loss as Louis Gaddis carried for Portland.
So we're seeing Portland's next crew in here. Good to see them getting some time tonight. Coach Hartman knows that these guys need to see they're working as hard in practice and giving them a little bit here.
Well, this could be the boost that pushes the Bulldogs into the playoffs tonight. There's the pitch to Silo Magno, and he goes outside, cuts in, and gets worked really hard, actually, for those 2 or 3 yards. So, but a 2-yard carry for Silo. So, about 3rd and 9. Two wideouts on the right. One is Josh Pike, closest to us. The pitch will go to the right side. It's Magno. Magno is going to be stopped cold and brought down by number 49, I believe, whose name is, 48 perhaps, Sebastiano. So at 4th and 9, the Dogs are actually going to go for it here, I guess.
Yeah, it's a good thing instead of punting it away and pinning, kind of sporting. Instead of pinning Bangor deep in their own zone, they'll take a nice run here.
And keeping it and getting the first down and more on the left side is Wakati.
Naked bootleg. He gets out there. He's got nobody in front of him to block. Challenges Bangor and picks up a first down for himself. There's a nice run there.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 now from the 20. Oh, almost a missed opportunity there, but Magno now. And he is manhandled by number 7. That's going to be a penalty on Luke Toole, who just showed some frustration on the really unsportsmanlike play there. That is unfortunate. He's going to come out. He's got a cast on his hand. Now, you can play with a cast in this league?
You can play with a cast as long as there's not metal coming out of it. There's probably some kind of safety around it, too.
So what we have, I believe, is we're going to have a 1st and goal as a result of that penalty. So first and goal, a familiar sight for Portland this evening. Watake looks for, oh goodness. He's got that receiver Pike over there on the left side. And a nice play to break it up. Number 54. I believe. Here comes Watake now with the play. It's going to be second and goal from the 9.
Looks like we also got him a 68 Akram Ibrahim.
And that was a keeper. And it'll be third and goal. So we understand number 68, Ibrahim, is also a wrestler, is a big player. 5'9", 230. So Bangor is going to recover the ball close to the goal line. They're going to be pinned deep in their own territory, but again, a rare miscue for the Bulldogs tonight.
So we're still got just above 5 minutes remaining here in this game. Even with the change in possession, with under these rules, the clock doesn't stop. So it keeps the game moving, more sporting for the opponents when there's a deficit of more than 35 points. I think it's a great move for high school athletics.
Yeah, now that looks like it's a safety, folks. No, it's not. They gave him forward progress. Yeah, they gave him forward progress. So it'll be second down and 13. I guess they gave him backwards progress, but certainly progress before he was back in underneath. So second and 13 now from the 2. Fumble. Looks like it was recovered by Milliken as he fell on it. A very frustrating evening here for the Bangor Rams. It's 3rd and 12 as they got one back. The ball's on the 3. And nothing doing, a handoff. Capongo and company on top. Silo Magno right there. Zach Elowich really getting credit with that stop, as he has all evening. The leading tackler, I believe, on the team, and certainly, in fact, one of the leaders in northern Maine is Zach Elowich.
Number 27's out there also in Keller Sims.
So from deep in the end zone, the ball is picked up by Magno, and he cuts into the middle. What a nifty move to avoid the tackler. He's on the right side. He wants that end zone, but he gets down to about the 4-yard line. Maybe the 5. Nice return by Silo Magno. A 27-yard return. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Dogs on the 4-yard line. 2.5 minutes left in this game, folks. I never quite understood the go, fight, win cheer and under these circumstances, but there you go.
A little miscue in there.
Yeah. You've got a lot of inexperience in there. And folks who are just learning.
See, also at number 41, Alfred Charles has made his entry into the lineup today.
Number 64, Henry Mandeville, also there on the line. The elusive number 51, Joe Nelson refers to as Joe Russo.
Some instruction coming out of there, Wakati.
Second and goal from the 5. The pitch will go out to Pike on the left side, and a nice tackle by number 48, Caleb Sebastiano. He's had a good game tonight. Nice defensive effort here tonight.
Under a minute here remaining in the game, Steve.
Yeah, and it's going to be third and goal from the 10. And in to take a knee will be Wataki. And that's going to do it, folks, as the Portland Bulldogs, well, there's 28 seconds left. I guess they'll take one more knee. But that's going to be the end of the game. The Portland Bulldogs are going to win 56-0.
And there's your final, Steve.
So on a beautiful fall evening in Bangor at Cameron Stadium, a 56-0 Bulldog really rout tonight of the Bangor Rams. Zach Elowich, 55 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. That doesn't tell the whole story because he was just lights out on defense tonight, led the team in tackles, and overall they had such a great defensive game to begin with. Vinny Pasquale, 110 rushing yards for 1 touchdown. Teron Moss, just 3 in the second half, but altogether 74, 3 touchdowns, 204 all-purpose yards. This team was amazing tonight.
Yeah, this is just what they needed, a playoff push, as you might think. Their offense, as we've watched them throughout the season, has clicked at certain times, but they put together a full 3 quarters of a game today offensively. Defensively, they really stood out today, limiting Bangor's offense. But it was a great overall effort by the Dogs today.
That's right. I mean, the Bangor had very few, actually, total yards this evening. Next up, Lewiston, and then the Battle of the Bridge, South Portland. We'll bring it all to you here on WPPS TV3 Sports. This is Steve Schwartz. For John Coyne, Dave Elowich on camera. For WPPS TV3, saying so long from Bangor, where tonight the Dogs are victorious 56-0. Good night.